With more attention to the naval aviation portion of the US Air Tree being given over the last few updates, with the implementation of the F4J and the A7E, the A-6 Intruder is now the questions in everyone's minds aside from, of course, the F-14 Tomcat. Why hasn't it been added? How would it look in game? Today we'll take a look at the A-6 Intruder to examine how it would be in War Thunder. The history of the A-6 Intruder goes as far back as 1955 when the US Navy issued a requirement for the replacement of the A-1 Skyraider for Marine close air support roles. Grumman's design was headed by Lawrence Meade Jr., who was also involved in the F-14's design team. In 1958, the US Navy awarded Grumman the contract under the name A-2F. The YA-2F had no radar, avionics, and navigation and was purely an aerodynamic proof of concept. The development was staggered until 1963 when the Navy redesignated all aircraft in service, including the A-2F, which entered service as the A-6 Intruder. The A-6 Intruder, touted by the Navy and the Marines as the first genuinely all-weather attack bomber in history. The A-6 served in Vietnam and as far as Bosnia until it was retired. The electronic warfare variant, the EA-6B Prowler, an improved variant of the EA-6A that stemmed from the A-2F-1H, served from 1970 until 2016 when the Navy finally retired it. Over its career as an electronic warfare aircraft, the EA-6B received multiple upgrades such as the ADVCAP or the Advanced Capability EA-6B with redesigns of the wing and fuselage, a new engine, and avionics. A total of 693 A-6 Intruders were built, with 28 of them being EA-6B Intruders. The A-6 Intruder is a twin-seat, side-by-side cockpit subsonic attacker built for close air support operations for the Navy and the Marines. It's fitted with two Pratt & Whitney J52 non-afterburning turbojets outputting a total of 38 kilonewtons of thrust. The engines provide significant acceleration towards the aircraft that there are even stories of F-14s requiring afterburners to keep up with A-6 Intruders. Its wings were designed for maneuverability even at higher bomb loads to the degree that the Skyraider provided. The A-6 Intruder's avionics included the Norden AN APQ-92 search radar and the AN APG-46 tracking radar. It included the AN APN-141 radar altimeter, an AN APN-122 Doppler navigation radar, and the Litton AN ASN-1 inertial navigation system. Bombing was handled by the AN ASQ-61 ballistics computer and air data computer. This avionics package would come to be known as the Digital Integrated Attack Navigation Equipment, or DIAN. This system would undergo specialized upgrades in the other variants such as the A-6B replacing the APQ-92 search radar with the APQ-103 for the benefit of firing AGM-45 strikes and AGM-78 standards. The final variant, the A-6E, utilized a FLIR targeting pod known as the Target Recognition and Attack Multisensor, or TRAM. For this purpose, the search radar was once again replaced by the Norden AN APQ-156 radar. All major variants of the A-6 Intruder had a radar warning system. Before the ALQ-100 was installed, A-6 Intruders fitted the ALR-15 RWR on the wingtips. While early A-6 Intruders only had the ALE-18 chaff dispensers, this was immediately upgraded to the ALE-29A with the Intruder receiving two under the fuselage for 30 tubes each for flares or chaff, a total of 60. This will become standard until the A-6E. While the A-6 Intruder did not carry any onboard guns, the Mark IV Mod 0 gun pod of the F-4J and A-4 Skyhawk was certified for use on it, although it was not an extensive user of it. For the purposes of War Thunder, however, this is enough to fit it in the centerline pylon. The A-6 Intruder can fire the entire suite of Navy missiles, but for War Thunder's purposes and the BR I intend to place them in, the AIM-9D and AIM-9G would be fine. Maybe the AIM-9H and AIM-9L could fit for the A-6E variant. The A-6 Intruder did not fire any radar air-to-air missiles. The AIM-9H is the last rear aspect variant of the Navy Sidewinders and is the basis of the AIM-9L. According to the Sidewinder story, it's a Sidewinder with the 30G capability but only in rear aspect. I assume we'll see the 9H as the early missile of the F-14 when it is added. For ground attack ordnance, the A-6 Intruder can drop the Mark 80 series of unguided bombs from the 250-pound Mark 81 to the 2,000-pound Mark 84 and the subsequent walleye bombs. The A-6E bolsters this capability by allowing it to fire Mavericks, paveways, and the entire suite of US's anti-radiation missile, aside from the AGM-122 sidearm. All intruders can also fire F-fire rockets and Zuni rockets. The A-6E can also fire the AGM-123 Skipper anti-ship missile. Essentially, the AGM-123 is just a 1,000-pound paveway bomb with a rocket propellant, and the same idea that the GBU-815 of the F-4E has an AGM variant known as the AGM-130, which is essentially a GBU-815 bomb with a rocket propellant. There are two variants that should exist in-game in the tech tree: the A-6B Intruder with general-purpose bombs, rockets, walleyes, and AGM-65As, and the A-6E with all of the above, plus paveways and the Skipper. I believe they should be before the A-7D because they lack the onboard gun the A-7D carries. The A-6B variant should be a 10.0 considering an air RB it can carry chaff and flares with 4 AIM-9Gs. The A-6E variant should be a 10.3 if Gaijin opts to not introduce it with the AIM-9L and fitted with the same air-to-air missiles as the A-6A. Otherwise, if the A-6E gets AIM-9L, then it should be at 11.0, as I believe 11.0 should be a hard button for all aspect air-to-air missiles in War Thunder. The A-6E gets a higher BR owing to its capability to carry more advanced anti-radiation missiles, clear capability with paveways, and the AGM-123 Skipper. The A-6B should have 340,000 RP cost and 930,000 purchase cost with 300,000 crew train cost. The A-6E should have 380,000 RP cost, 1,030,000 purchase cost, and 300,000 crew train cost. There could also be an event vehicle, the A-6F Intruder, 5 of which were built before being cancelled. This variant featured new radar and AMRAAM capability with an improved F404 engine featured on the F-18 Hornet. The A-6B Prowler, however, is a difficult aircraft to implement. First of all, it doesn't have the standard A-6 Intruder model, so it won't be just a copy-paste. Second, it requires addition of features that would be complicated to model in games, such as the ALQ-100's track braking system and tactical jammers. On top of that, it would be useless in air RB, only able to carry Shrike missiles in which there are no targets for, unless you count the airfield SAM, but we'll talk about that in the future. It's a damn shame that Gaijin killed off carriers in air RB. Carrier takeoffs were novel but very fun in War Thunder, and being in the A-6 Intruder would just improve on top of that fun. Sorry I couldn't upload last week. I contracted the Kung Fu and it just knocked me out from playing on top of the infinite loading bug that plagued me. Fortunately, I was able to recover. Now I'm back to playing War Thunder. As always, stay tuned for more content and Godspeed.